What happens when a royal guest mistakes morning television for his own personal platform? In just 36 seconds, one comment would turn a friendly interview into the most shocking exit in talk show history. Good Morning America's studio lights were bright that morning. Sam Champion sat across from Prince Harry, ready for what everyone thought would be a typical celebrity interview. The kind where they talk about charity work, maybe a new project, the usual stuff. But what unfolded instead would leave the entire crew speechless. Sam opened with a warm smile, trying to make his guest comfortable. "Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're really excited to have you here." Prince Harry shifted in his seat, barely making eye contact. "Right. Well, let's get on with it then." The response caught Sam off guard, but he pushed forward like the professional he is. "Absolutely. So you've been doing some incredible work with various charities. Can you tell our viewers about what you're focusing on right now?" "I think what's more important," Prince Harry interrupted, "is talking about how the media, shows like this one, have completely twisted everything about my life." Sam's eyebrows raised slightly. "This wasn't in the pre-interview notes." "Well, we're here to let you share your truth. That's why we invited you." "Your truth?" Prince Harry leaned forward, his voice rising. "You people don't care about truth. You care about ratings and clicks, and making people like me look bad." The studio went quiet. You could feel the tension building. Camera operators glanced at each other, unsure if they should keep rolling. Sam remained calm, years of live television experience kicking in. "I can assure you that's not what we're about here," Sam said gently. "We want to have an honest conversation." "Honest?" Prince Harry laughed, but there was no humor in it. "That's rich coming from someone who works for a network that's published dozens of stories, twisting my words." Sam took a breath, maintaining his composure. "I understand you've had difficult experiences with the press, but we're not here to attack you. We're here to listen." "Listen? You want to listen?" Prince Harry's voice dripped with sarcasm. "Then listen to this. Every single morning show, every interview, every quote, it's all designed to make me look like the villain." "I think our viewers would disagree," Sam replied, keeping his tone measured. "We've actually been very fair in our coverage of you and your family," Prince Harry scoffed. "Fair? You call it fair when you have segments speculating about my marriage, my choices, my children? That's fair to you?" Sam could see this was going sideways fast, but he tried to redirect. "Those are segments about public interest, and we always try to be respectful. But you're here now, so let's talk about what you want to talk about." "What I want." Prince Harry stood up slightly, then sat back down, clearly agitated. "What I want is for people like you to stop pretending you're doing some noble service. You're entertainment, nothing more." The crew behind the cameras exchanged worried looks. This was live television, and it was falling apart in real time. Sam remained steady. "We inform millions of people every morning. We take that responsibility seriously." "Responsibility?" Prince Harry's laugh was bitter. "Don't lecture me about responsibility. I've had more responsibility thrown at me before breakfast than you'll have in your entire career." That comment landed hard. You could see Sam's jaw tighten, just a bit, but he kept his cool. "I'm not trying to lecture anyone. I'm trying to have a conversation." "A conversation?" Prince Harry shook his head. "This isn't a conversation. This is an ambush. You brought me here to make me look bad? Admit it." Sam's patience was being tested, but he didn't break. "That's absolutely not true. We sent you the topics in advance. You agreed to everything." "I agreed because I thought maybe, just maybe, one show would treat me with the respect I deserve." Prince Harry's voice was getting louder. "But I should have known better." "We are treating you with respect," Sam said firmly. "But respect goes both ways." Prince Harry pointed at Sam, his finger jabbing the air. Don't you dare talk to me about respect. Do you know who I am? Do you know what I've been through? The studio audience, small as it was, sat frozen. Nobody knew where to look. Sam's voice remained calm but firm. I know exactly who you are, and I know you've faced challenges, but that doesn't give you the right to come on this show and insult me and my colleagues. Insult you? Prince Harry stood up this time, staying on his feet. You're insulted. How do you think I feel being paraded around like some circus animal for your ratings? Nobody is parading you around, Sam responded, also standing now. You accepted this invitation. You chose to be here. Biggest mistake I've made in months, Prince Harry shot back. Sitting here, being interrogated by someone who thinks he's important because he reads from a teleprompter. That was the line. The room felt like all the air had been sucked out of it. Sam's face showed the first real sign of emotion beyond professional courtesy. I think we need to take a break, Sam said, looking toward the producers off camera. Oh, now you want a break? Prince Harry's voice was mocking. Now that your little show is falling apart, you want to cut away? How convenient. Sam turned back to face his guest directly. I'm trying to give us both a moment to reset because this has become unproductive. Unproductive for who? Prince Harry demanded. For you? For your viewers? Or for me, because I'm finally telling the truth about how manipulative all of this is? The truth? Sam's voice had an edge now, just a slight one, but it was there. The truth is you came here angry. You've been hostile from the start, and you're not interested in an actual dialogue. Prince Harry took a step closer to the desk, separating them. I'm hostile. I'm just matching the energy that's been thrown at me for years by people exactly like you. I am nothing like whoever hurt you, Sam said clearly, and I don't deserve to be treated this way. Deserve? Prince Harry's eyes narrowed. You want to talk about what people deserve? I deserve privacy. I deserve to live my life without constant scrutiny. What do you deserve, Sam? A pat on the back for doing your job? The producers were now frantically talking into their headsets. This had gone from bad to catastrophic. Sam could see them gesturing, but he stayed focused on the situation in front of him. I deserve basic respect, just like anyone else, Sam answered. And so does my team, who worked hard to make you comfortable here today. Prince Harry looked around at the crew with disdain. Comfortable? Is that what you think this is? Comfortable? It was supposed to be, Sam replied. We prepared questions about your charity work, your upcoming projects, things you care about, but you haven't let us get to any of that. Because it's all a setup, Prince Harry's voice echoed through the studio. You ask nice questions so you can slip in the knife later. I know how this works. Sam shook his head slowly. That's not how I work. That's not how we work. And honestly, this paranoia is making it impossible to have any kind of meaningful exchange. Paranoia? Prince Harry's face flushed red. You're calling me paranoid now? On live television? I'm saying you're seeing attacks where there aren't any, Sam clarified. Every question I've asked has been straightforward and respectful. Respectful? Prince Harry grabbed his microphone pack, starting to remove it. If this is respect, I'd hate to see what you consider disrespectful. Sam watched as his guest began unhooking the equipment. What are you doing? What does it look like I'm doing? Prince Harry pulled the wire from under his jacket. I'm leaving. I don't need this. I don't need you. I don't need any of this circus. You're walking out? Sam asked, though the answer was obvious. Oh, I'm not just walking out. Prince Harry tossed the microphone onto the chair. I'm making it very clear that shows like this, hosts like you, you're all part of the problem. You build people up just to tear them down. Sam stood straighter. I haven't torn anyone down. You came here and immediately went on the attack. Because I'm tired, Prince Harry shouted. I'm tired of playing nice. Tired of pretending everything is fine. Tired of people like you acting like you care when all you want is a soundbite. I do care, Sam insisted. I care about having honest conversations with our guests. But you're right about one thing. This isn't working. Prince Harry laughed sharply. Finally, something we agree on. So if you want to leave, then leave, Sam said, his voice steady but final. But don't blame me or my show for your inability to have a civil conversation. Civil? Prince Harry's voice went up another notch. You want civil? Try having your entire life dissected on shows like this every single day and see how civil you remain. Sam took a breath. I understand that's difficult, but taking it out on me isn't the answer. I'm not your enemy. Everyone in this industry is my enemy, Prince Harry declared, sweeping his arm around the studio. Every camera, every host, every producer, all of you. The crew members looked uncomfortable, some looking down at their equipment, others watching the scene unfold with wide eyes. That's a sad way to live, Sam said quietly, thinking everyone is out to get you. It's realistic, Prince Harry countered, and I'm done pretending otherwise. Sam nodded slowly. Then I think it's best if we end this now. Oh, now you want me gone? Prince Harry's tone was victorious, like he'd won something. Now that I've exposed what this really is? You haven't exposed anything except your own anger, Sam replied. And I'm sorry you're carrying that. I truly am. But I can't help you if you won't let me. Prince Harry stepped back from the interview area. I don't need your help. I don't need your pity. And I definitely don't need your platform. Then why did you come? Sam asked simply. The question hung in the air. Prince Harry's mouth opened, then closed. He seemed to struggle for an answer. I thought... He started, then stopped. I thought maybe this time would be different. It could have been, Sam said gently, if you'd given us a chance. I've given chances before. Prince Harry's voice was quieter now, but still defensive. They always end the same way. Sam's expression softened slightly. Not every interview is the same. Not every person is trying to hurt you. Easy for you to say, Prince Harry responded. You're not the one whose life is constantly under a microscope. You're right. I'm not, Sam acknowledged. But that doesn't mean I'm your enemy. Prince Harry looked around the studio again, seeming lost for a moment. Then his face hardened once more. I need to go. All right, Sam said simply. That's it? Prince Harry seemed surprised by the lack of resistance. You're not going to try to convince me to stay? Sam shook his head. You've made it clear you don't want to be here. I'm not going to force you. Good, Prince Harry said, though he sounded less certain than before. Because I wasn't going to stay anyway. I understand, Sam replied calmly. Prince Harry stood there for another few seconds, as if waiting for something else. When nothing came, he turned toward the exit. Just so you know, he said over his shoulder, this will be everywhere by tonight. I know, Sam answered. And you're fine with that? Prince Harry turned back slightly. Your show falling apart on live television? Sam met his eyes. My show didn't fall apart. A guest chose to leave. There's a difference. Keep telling yourself that, Prince Harry muttered. I will, Sam said, because it's the truth. Prince Harry shook his head one final time. You people and your truth. You wouldn't know truth if it hit you in the face. Maybe not, Sam conceded, but I know respect when I see it. And I know when someone is too hurt to see past their own pain. That comment stopped Prince Harry in his tracks. He turned fully around, his face a mix of anger and something else, something vulnerable. Don't psychoanalyze me, he said, but his voice lacked the force it had earlier. I'm not, Sam replied. I'm just making an observation. Well, keep your observations to yourself, Prince Harry said, but he didn't move toward the exit anymore. The studio was completely silent, everyone watching, waiting to see what would happen next. Sam took a small step forward. Look, if you want to start over, we can. We can cut All of this and begin again with a fresh conversation. Prince Harry's expression flickered, with something that might have been consideration. But then it hardened again. "No," he said firmly. "I'm done. With this interview, with this show, with all of it." "All right," Sam nodded. "Then I wish you well." Prince Harry seemed taken aback by the genuine tone. "You wish me well? After everything I just said?" "Yes," Sam said simply. "Because despite everything, I still think you're someone dealing with a lot, and I hope you find peace." For a moment, Prince Harry looked like he might say something different, something softer, but instead, he straightened his shoulders. "Save your hopes for someone who needs them," he said coldly. And with that, Prince Harry walked toward the studio exit. The cameras followed him as he moved past crew members, past producers, past everyone who had worked to make this interview happen. Sam stood at the interview desk, watching him go. His face showed a mix of disappointment and resignation, but also a quiet dignity. As Prince Harry reached the door, he paused one last time. He looked back at Sam, at the cameras, at the whole setup. His mouth opened as if he wanted to say something else, but no words came out. He turned and walked through the door, leaving it to swing shut behind him. Sam remained standing for a moment longer, then slowly sat back down in his chair. He looked directly at the camera, composing himself. The control room was chaos. Producers scrambling to figure out what to do next, how to transition, what to say. But Sam just waited, professional to the end. Finally, he spoke to the viewers at home, his voice steady and calm. "Well," he said with a slight weary smile, "that was unexpected." The simple statement somehow captured everything. The shock, the disappointment, the surreal nature of what had just happened. "We'll be right back after this break," Sam continued, maintaining his composure even, as his eyes showed the emotional toll of the exchange. As they cut to commercial, Sam let out a long breath. His shoulders dropped slightly, the professional armor coming down just a fraction. Members of the crew approached him, asking if he was okay, if he needed anything. Sam waved them off gently, appreciating the concern, but not wanting to make a big deal of it. "I'm fine," he told them. "These things happen." But everyone knew this was different. This wasn't just a difficult guest or an awkward moment. This was something that would be replayed and analyzed for days, maybe weeks to come. In the hallway outside the studio, Prince Harry was already gone. No goodbye to the staff who had prepared for his visit. No acknowledgement of the makeup artist who had gotten him ready. No thank you to anyone. Just gone. Back in the studio, Sam prepared for the next segment, because that's what professionals do. They keep going, even when things fall apart. They maintain dignity, even when others lose theirs. The red light on the camera blinked, signaling they were about to go live again. Sam straightened his tie, cleared his throat, and put on his television smile. But those who knew him could see something different in his eyes. Not anger, not even real hurt. More like sadness. Sadness that someone was so trapped in their own pain that they couldn't see offered kindness. Sadness that a conversation that could have been meaningful had instead become a spectacle. The light went solid red. They were live. And Sam Champion, professional that he was, moved forward with the show. Because that's what you do. You keep going. You maintain grace under pressure. You treat people with respect, even when they don't return it. That's what separates the professionals from everyone else. That's what makes a good host. And in those 36 seconds, when Prince Harry made that first cutting remark about the teleprompter, the tone was set. Everything that followed was inevitable. A cascade of hostility, meeting calm professionalism. Anger crashing against steady dignity. The interview that could have been something special instead became a masterclass in how to handle a hostile guest and how not to handle being a guest. Sam never raised his voice, never lost his temper, never stooped to the level of the insults being thrown at him. He remained who he was, a professional broadcaster doing his job with grace and integrity. And that, in the end, was what people would remember. Not the shouting, not the accusations, not the dramatic exit. They would remember the host who stayed calm, who offered second chances, who maintained his dignity when someone else lost theirs. The cameras captured it all. Every word, every expression, every tense moment. It was live television at its most raw and unscripted. And while Prince Harry thought he was exposing something about morning television, what he really exposed was himself, his pain, his anger, his inability to see past his own hurt to accept genuine kindness. Sam Champion, on the other hand, showed exactly who he was: a professional, a gentleman, someone who treats people with respect, regardless of how they treat him. That's the real story of what happened that morning. Not the spectacle of a guest walking out, but the quiet dignity of a host who never wavered. In 36 seconds, with one comment about reading from a teleprompter, Prince Harry set in motion his own downfall. Not because Sam retaliated or fought back, but because he didn't have to. Sometimes the best response to hostility is calm professionalism. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is maintain your integrity while someone else loses theirs. And that morning, in that studio, with those cameras rolling, that's exactly what Sam Champion did. He showed up. He did his job. He treated his guest with respect. And when that guest chose to leave, he let him go with dignity. No drama. No revenge. No matching the energy of anger with more anger. Just professional grace under the most unprofessional of circumstances. That's the mark of a true broadcaster. That's the sign of someone who understands their role and their responsibility to their audience. Sam Champion proved that morning why he's trusted by millions, why he sits in that chair, why he's the face of morning television. Not because he's perfect, not because every interview goes smoothly, but because when things go wrong, when guests lose control, when the unexpected happens, he remains steady. He remains professional. He remains kind. He remains Sam Champion. And as the show continued after that break, as they moved on to weather and cooking segments and all the normal things that make up a morning show, Sam did what he always does. He smiled. He engaged. He made viewers feel welcomed into their day, because that's his job. And he's very, very good at it. The interview with Prince Harry became a footnote, a wild moment in an otherwise normal show, a reminder that live television is unpredictable, but it also became something else. A reminder that professionalism matters, that grace under pressure is real, that you can face hostility with calm and come out the other side with your integrity intact. Sam Champion taught a masterclass that morning, not in how to conduct an interview, but in how to be a human being when someone else chooses not to be. And that, ultimately, is a story worth telling.